Have you ever watched your cat slowly press their paws into a blanket over and over like they're kneading invisible dough? It looks cute, maybe even a little strange. But what if that small ritual actually means something much deeper? Most cat owners think it's just a funny habit, something kittens never grow out of. But the truth is, when your cat needs a blanket, they may be revealing emotions most people never notice. And if you've misunderstood this behavior, you might have been missing some very important signals your cat has been sending you for years. Because kneading isn't random, it's one of the oldest instincts a cat has. And once you understand what it really means, you may never look at those tiny paws the same way again. Let's start with something most people never realize. 1. Kneading is a memory from kittenhood. When kittens are very young, they knead their mother's belly while nursing. Their tiny paws press rhythmically against her fur, too. Stimulate milk flow. It's one of the first comforting actions they ever learn. Warmth, food, safety, a heartbeat nearby. Everything a kitten needs to survive is present in that moment. So when your adult cat needs a blanket years later, something fascinating is happening. They are revisiting a feeling they experienced at the very beginning of life. Comfort, security, belonging. Most people assume cats forget those early moments. They don't. In fact, many behaviors cats show as adults are echoes of their earliest experiences. Kneading is one of the clearest examples, but here's where it gets deeper. Your cat isn't just remembering their mother, they're choosing to recreate that feeling in your presence. And that choice tells you something important, which leads to the next reason many people completely overlook. 2. Kneading means they feel emotionally safe. Cats are extremely cautious animals. Every movement they make is guided by instinct. If a cat feels even slightly unsafe, their body stays tense, their muscles stay ready to react. But kneading requires something very different. Relaxation. Watch your cat carefully when they do it. Their eyes soften, their body becomes loose. Sometimes they even start purring before they realize it. That rhythm of the paws, it's a sign their guard has dropped. In the wild, lowering your defenses can be dangerous. Predators survive by staying alert, yet your cat willingly enters that peaceful state right next to you. That isn't accidental. It means they believe the environment around them is completely secure, and most importantly, they believe you are part of that safety. But safety isn't the only thing happening during this strange little ritual. Something invisible is happening too. 3. They are marking the space with their scent. This is where many owners get it wrong. People often think kneading is only about comfort, but cats communicate through scent far more than we realize. Hidden in your cat's paws are tiny scent glands. Every time they press into a blanket, a pillow, or even your lap, those glands release subtle chemical signals. It's a quiet message. This place belongs to me. But there's another layer most people miss. When your cat needs something that belongs to you, your blanket, your clothes, your bed, they are blending their scent with yours. In cat society, shared scent means family. Cats that trust each other share smell. It helps them recognize their safe group. So when your cat needs your blanket, night after night, they are performing a silent ritual. They're strengthening the bond between your scent and theirs. It's their way of saying something they can't explain out loud. You are part of my world. And that's not the only instinct still guiding those little paws. Because kneading also connects to something much older, something built into cats long before they lived in our homes. 4. It's an ancient instinct to prepare a resting place. Long before cats slept on couches or blankets, their ancestors slept in grass, leaves, and soil. But those surfaces weren't always comfortable. So wild cats developed a behavior to fix that problem. They would press down repeatedly with their paws, flattening plants and softening the ground, created a small, secure nest where they could rest. And even though today's cats live indoors, that instinct hasn't disappeared. When your cat needs a blanket, they may be doing something their ancestors did thousands of years ago, preparing the perfect sleeping spot, press, 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 testing softness, adjusting the surface, making the bed just right. It's a survival behavior that quietly survived domestication. But here's something that surprises many owners. The location where your cat needs often matters more than the blanket itself. And that leads to something even more interesting. 5. Sometimes they are kneading you. Might have experienced this before. Your cat climbs onto your lap. They begin pressing their paws into your legs or stomach. It can be adorable or slightly painful. But why do they choose you instead of a blanket? The answer reveals something very personal. When your cat needs your body, they're treating you like the safest place in their world. Remember that kitten memory we talked about earlier? The warmth, the security, the closeness. For a moment, your cat may be associating you with that same comfort. That's why kneading often happens when they're relaxed, sleepy, or preparing to curl up. It's a behavior tied to trust, and trust, in the mind of a cat, is not given easily. But here's something else many owners notice. Kneading often happens during very specific moments, late at night, during quiet evenings, or when you're resting. That timing is not random. 6. Kneading can be a way your cat syncs emotionally with you. Cats are far more aware of human emotions than people think. They observe everything: your voice, your breathing, your movement patterns. Over time, cats learn the rhythm of your life. They know when the house is calm, when you're relaxed, when the day is winding down. And that's when kneading often appears. It's almost like your cat is responding to the emotional atmosphere around them. If the room is peaceful, their body relaxes. The paws begin to move. The purring starts. What looks like a simple behavior may actually be part of a quiet, emotional exchange happening between you and your cat. A moment where both of you are calm enough to share space without tension. And if this is changing the way you see your cat, hit like and subscribe, because the last reason kneading matters might be the most important one. 7. When kneading suddenly stops, it may be telling you something. Cats are creatures of routine. When they repeat a behavior regularly, it becomes part of their emotional pattern. So if your cat needs blankets often and suddenly stops doing it, pay attention. Changes in behavior are one of the main ways cats communicate discomfort. Sometimes the reason is simple: a new environment, a new pet, a change in household routine, but other times it can be something physical. Cats experiencing pain or stress often withdraw from behaviors that normally relax them, including kneading. If a cat who always needed your blanket suddenly avoids it, they may not feel as comfortable or secure as they once did. And because cats hide discomfort so well, this small change can be one of the first signals something is off. Most owners miss this. They assume their cat just grew out of the habit, but cats rarely abandon comforting rituals without a reason, which is why paying attention to these small behaviors matters so much. Because to your cat, kneading was never just a cute habit. It was a language, a memory from kittenhood, a sign of safety, a way to make sense and strengthen bonds, an ancient instinct passed down through generations, and sometimes a quiet moment where your cat feels completely at peace beside you. So the next time you see those paws slowly pressing into a blanket, pause for a moment, look closely, because what seems like a simple movement might actually be one of the most honest things your cat ever shows you. And once you understand that, those tiny kneading paws start to mean a lot more than they ever did before.